Tonight on Elon Local News. The Elon community in mourning, remembering the life of Professor L.M. Wood. How a union will affect campus. We sit down with 2 faculty members about Tuesday's union vote. T-shirts and canvases, how these students turn their passions into businesses. All that and more. Elon Local News starts right now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at Elon University School of Communications, you're watching Elon Local News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Samantha Casamento.
And I'm Amanda Gibson. Tonight, the Elon community is mourning the death of Associate Professor of Art L.M. Wood. Tomorrow afternoon at 4:15, anyone is invited to a gathering of friends in the sacred space of the Newman Lumen Pavilion.
The gathering will honor Wood, who died in her sleep Saturday. The professor taught in the art department at Elon for 19 years, creating the digital art minor. Rachel Ellis with more on L.M. Wood's legacy.
She was really just like a ray of light in my semester. She was so amazing, and she really knew how to make people feel comfortable and happy and respected in the classroom.
L.M. Wood's students holding on to this light their professor brought to Arts West.
I will think of her on any project this semester, knowing that, it would have been her in our critique, or it would have been her in the classroom.
Saying goodbye to a mentor far too soon.
It's a very weird feeling knowing that she's not going to come back. It's very strange. It's very hard to process.
The art community at Elon grieving the death of a friend.
She did so much that I don't think we really think about until the day when all of a sudden those things, I regret that. I regret that deeply, that we didn't acknowledge it enough.
Down the hall, a beloved professor's legacy already in full bloom.
Walking the hall this morning and seeing the memorial that someone left, some flowers in the hallway, and the note saying you made the world a gentler place. I think that's what it is.
Remembering a professor with a passion for creativity and spirit.
Elon swallows us up with requirements of teaching and scholarship and service and committees, and she seemed really just focused on what mattered to her was teaching.
The lessons she taught go far beyond the classroom.
She was always really good about letting everybody say themselves.
An inspirer of self-expression and love for art.
I made it in this class, and a lot of people think that hummingbirds are how people that have passed come back and say hello, and so I'll sort of think of her when I see them now.
Never forgetting the way L.M. Wood changed Elon.
Figure out what she did and how we can scab it together so that the students don't miss an experience that they deserve.
Moving forward, but always honoring this maker and creator.
It's a small group. She's missed.
Rachel Ellis, Elon Local News.
If you are experiencing grief or are in need of counseling services, call 336-278-7280 or visit the Ellington Center for Health and Wellness on South Campus.
Tonight, SGA executive candidates are hosting a community forum to talk about issues they plan to address if elected. Maggie Brown is live in Oak House to give us the full story. Maggie.
Vice President position. We're here at the SGA Candidate Elections Forum in Oak House, and I'm here with Sophie Sen, Senior Class Senator, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about the event tonight. So Sophie, what's going on tonight?
So basically tonight is a night to hear from people that are running for executive positions, get to ask them questions. There are some pre-prepared questions, and then they'll ask questions from the audience. So I'm really excited to hear what the candidates have to say.
Sure, and I'm going to ask you questions. Do you have anything planned you want to hear from?
Yeah, so I'm really excited to hear from Nate and Jack Johnson. I know them both personally, but I'm really excited to hear what they think about diversity and inclusion and specific policies that they want to implement in the coming year.
Sure, and so all of the other positions are uncontested, but Nate and Jack are running for student body president. Is that right?
Yes.
And what are some things that you hope to leave SGA in the new year, since you go on to bigger and better things?
Yeah, so we're voting on our pilot program this week for free menstrual products on campus. And I hope to hear from them that they're going to continue to implement policies like these that are directly related to creating a more inclusive campus.
Sure, and is there any other policy issues that you want to see them voting on, or any more direct things that will impact the entire student body?
I just want to hear from them about how they're going to continue to engage with faculty and with the surrounding town. I think it's important that students are not only engaged with each other, but are also engaged with the community that supports them.
Sure, so the SGA Candidates Forum is going on right now, and they have snacks and drinks provided by the Milkers if you want to stop by.
Thanks, Maggie. Voting begins on March 13th and ends March 14th at 5 p.m. on Phoenix Connect. The winners will be announced in the Mosley Student Center on the 14th at 6. For more updates on the election, go to elonnewsnetwork.com. Today is Sunshine Day, hosted by the Sunshine Center located in our School of Communications. The event helps promote open government and transparent record keeping in North Carolina. A panel on voter fraud in North Carolina's 9th District included reporters Travis Fain, Steve Harrison, and Elon News Network alumnus Joe Bruno. Bruno says this day is about accountability.
Sunshine Day is so important because we have to know what's going on. These laws are in place so the public is informed, and it's crucial that we push governments to actually follow them.
If you are interested in learning more about the Sunshine Center, the state headquarters are located here at Elon and Char Hall, Route 215. Elon Town Police responded to more than 400 loud noise complaints in 2018. Assistant Chief of the Elon Police Department, James Perry, says less than 5 of these complaints resulted in a citation. More citations could be given in 2019. The updated town ordinance doesn't require police officers to give a verbal warning at the first arrival. According to the new ordinance, loud noise levels are not allowed in the town of Elon. The code says noise levels are based on volume, duration, frequency, and other characteristics of the sound. Violation of this ordinance will result in, quote, a fine not to exceed $50 or imprisoned not to exceed 20 days. Perry says the ordinance came from complaints from full-time residents and is the first step in reducing the noise.
I hope it's going to be more effective, and that's the goal. But again, we needed to try something, and this is something that we think will help. And so we're going to try it, and if not, we'll go back to the drawing board and come up with something else.
Elon Jr. Grace Brown is one of the students who did not like this change. She says the ordinance is unfair to residents who violate it for the first time.
I think that getting a warning would definitely be more helpful for a situation other than just arresting someone on the spot after a complaint is filed. I feel like that's a little unfair unless it's like a repeating occurrence or something.
To learn more about how this ordinance is affecting the town of Elon, go to our website, elonnewsnetwork.com. We're no stranger here at Elon to the sound of a train passing by. There was a commuter train station on Elon before the university was founded, but in 1961, it was torn down to build more parking. Now a small group of faculty and students are fighting to bring it back. The train committee led by Professor Brian Johnson is working with the university, the town of Elon, and the state government to build a commuter train station on campus. Johnson says that it would help make the campus car-free, attract more students and faculty, and help connect the university with the community, surrounding cities, and campuses.
I came here really not liking cars. And so I saw the train, I thought, why not? Connecting to government, to businesses, to the Research Triangle Park, to the airport, to Charlotte, to Raleigh, to Winston-Salem in a way, would make the possibility for internships and jobs and connections much, much stronger.
We asked some Elon students if they would like to see a station on campus. Here's what they said.
I think commuter train would be a great idea to bring back to the campus, as it'll be easy transportation for students to kind of more local areas that we maybe wouldn't be able to Uber to or use a zip car for.
I think it would be easier for a lot of college students to travel home, and it would just make everyone's lives a lot easier instead of driving back or getting a plane ticket.
That'd be cool. We could like travel to other places and people that don't have their cars could go around.
Probably make it a lot easier for kids to get home and just move around more.
After getting support from President Book, Professor Johnson says the idea is picking up steam. The committee's next step is to get the station on Elon's strategic plan. If they do, the station could be completed by 2030.
The search for Elon's next provost is still underway after Provost Stephen House announced his upcoming retirement. A provost is responsible for all academic programs and overseeing the schools of business, communications, and education. President Connie Book says the next provost will need to live up to Elon's values. You know that
that get students engaged deeply on campus. We know that's a great practice. It leads to great employment, leadership development, and opportunities to provide leadership on campus, service learning. So somebody really values those high impact and experiential pieces that Elon has spent decades developing and really has mastery in that area.
We will continue following this story as the selection committee is expected to announce a new provost around May.
March is Women's History Month, and on Elon's predominantly female campus, many women are balancing social lives, classwork, clubs, and running their own businesses. Our Quinn Corrigan has the story.
2 women on Elon's campus are their own bosses. Elon Jr. Livy Murray is one of these busy students who runs her own clothing business, Pretty Vibes Movement. One t-shirt line is called Trust Your Art.
When you read it, it almost sounds like Trust Your Heart. And that was just kind of a lucky coincidence. But to me, it just means trusting your journey and trusting the level that you are at within your creative path and trusting that you're good enough.
Murray runs her entire business out of her apartment, from creating designs to shipping orders. As a female entrepreneur, she says she isn't always taken seriously.
I think people think they can push you over because you're a young female entrepreneur.
For other female entrepreneurs on campus, struggles have been a way to grow. Sophomore Annie Earnshaw paints canvases as a business.
Problem isn't a problem. A problem is just a way to, you just figure it out and you move on.
Earnshaw learned from her mom, who owns her own interior design business.
When she wasn't working for herself and being her own boss, she still instilled those values in me of working hard and, you know, finding your niche and being creative. And I really latched onto that, and I found that that was something very special.
While Murray and Earnshaw say being a female entrepreneur is definitely not an easy task, their passion for creativity keeps them dedicated. Quinn Corrigan, Elon Local News.
You can find more women entrepreneurs at Friday's Student Made Store from 3 to 5 p.m. outside of Lakeside at Speaker's Corner.
After the break, hear from both sides. The vote to unionize happening this week.
And with more than just homework and assignments to complete, how one student is taking a different role in the classroom.
You're watching Elon Local News.
This week, Elon faculty and staff are voting to form or not to form a union. Right now, we are joined with Adjunct Assistant Professor Deborah Amaral and Lecturer in Management Patrick Bell to talk about the vote's impact on the Elon community. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here, thank you.
So what will the vote tomorrow mean for the union?
The vote tomorrow will be an in-person counting of the ballots that have been sent in over the last couple of weeks, weeks. And it will determine the majority of the votes cast, not the total unit. The votes cast will determine whether or not that unit will be represented by the union.
And so who was voting in this?
The class that was identified by the SEIU faculty forward as, I think, mainly adjuncts.
It's adjuncts, yes.
And so from my understanding, you are against the union and you are for the union. So can you tell us a little bit about why you are in those positions?
Sure, I can tell you some about why I'm part of the union and advocating for it. And I also wanted to say what we're looking forward to is negotiating successfully a contract that will improve our working conditions at Elon. I think there is room for improvement. We're really looking forward to having greater fairness and consistency and transparency in our conditions. And I'm personally very interested in seeing an improvement in our pay.
I share those things that we need here at Elon and could be improved. I just don't think that a union is the way to do it. I think the Elon way is to talk among ourselves, solve our problems, but not bring in a third party. That really, it's what I fear the most of a union presence here on Elon's campus is it creates a permanent kind of adversarial relationship without some kind of issues. There's no need, and so there's never really a reason to never not have the union. But issues to be addressed, absolutely. And I think the administration has been very, not speaking for them, but they've been very forthcoming with facts about that and willing to listen. So that's the only reason against the union being involved.
Thank you both so much for joining us. We
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We will continue to follow this story on elonnewsnetwork.com. And this spring, some students are out of Elon classrooms and teaching on their own classrooms at local schools. Our Ashley Moran has the story.
Amanda McMahon starts her day at 6 in the morning and her school day at 7:30. McMahon is one of 50 education majors student teaching this semester. She teaches English at Hugh M. Cummings High School in Graham.
It's majority minority students, which kind of has pushed me further to want to go into college access just because I feel like it's really important.
Dean of the School of Education, Ann Bullock, says the student teacher program provides students with experience to teach anywhere in the world.
We provide them an opportunity to be in schools which have a diverse population racially. We provide opportunities for them to be in schools that have low-income children that are from homes with more need. We provide them opportunities to be in schools that might look more like the schools they went to or not.
McMahon's road to becoming a teacher has been a wake-up call.
So it definitely kind of pushes you to grow up a little bit. I think when I was still taking college classes, I napped a lot and it was really easy to put off responsibilities, but with student teaching, it's just not possible.
McMahon says the most important part of being a teacher is building trusting relationships with students. But before building relationships, McMahon believes in building herself.
I think just that it's okay to make mistakes, that you're not going to walk in the classroom and immediately be an amazing teacher.
Ashley Moran, Elon Local News.
Bullock says student teaching is considered an academic class and counts as an internship, one of the experiential learning requirements. And more than 800 Elon students gathered Friday night to participate in Relay for Life. The annual event raises money for the American Cancer Society, and this year participants raised more than $94,000. This money directly funds services such as cancer research grants, free housing for patients and their caregivers during treatment, and transportation to and from hospitals. Executive Director of Relay for Life, Karina Hernandez, says the amount raised was much closer to their $100,000 goal than last year, but still leaves room for improvement.
We're all really excited to see what we did, and it was especially exciting because Relay was a month earlier this year than it's been in the past, so to have done so much in less time was really exciting.
Hernandez says the event was moved due to scheduling conflict. Last year they raised over $75,000.
When we come back, a look at Dean Ford's accomplishments and challenges during her first year at Elon.
After the break, I'll let you know if this warm weather is here to stay.
We have our Ashley Moran live on Citroen Plaza. Ashley?
Thanks to daylight savings time, the sun still hasn't set and the temperature hasn't quite dropped. We had some partly sunny skies this morning and then a bit of cloud cover and a slight drizzle later on this afternoon. We've got some warm weather in store for this week. Let's take a look at the Phoenix 5-day forecast. On Tuesday, we have a high of 60 and a low of 35 with some partly sunny skies. On Wednesday, we've got a high of 62 and a low of 45 with cloud cover. Temperatures will spike up on Thursday with a high of 70 and a low of 58 with some sun peeking through. On Friday, expect thunderstorms and a high of 69 with a low of 40. The temperature will begin to cool off to kick off our weekend with a high of 56 and a low of 33 on Saturday. Live with your Phoenix 5-day forecast, I'm Ashley Moran.
Thanks, Ashley.
Dean of the Communication School, Dr. Rochelle Ford, will be celebrating her one-year anniversary with the school in just a few months. Our Maya Eaglin sat down with her to understand the challenges and successes so far at Elon.
It's a big job.
After spending several years at Howard and Syracuse University, Ford says there's something different about Elon.
But what excited me is that there's so many people dedicated to Elon, that faculty members stay after school and work one-on-one with students on the weekend, how engaged the campus is.
This upcoming June will mark her first year of work, and already she's been leading some big changes.
My biggest challenge was helping to come up with an administrative structure where all of the majors and disciplines within the School of Communication would have an administrator, a faculty administrator, or a program director that they could go to and find support.
But Ford says some of the most important challenges impact students directly.
We have students who need scholarship money. We have students who want to study abroad or do an internship in a city where they don't live.
Ford says these problems might not be the first ones the university thinks about when providing support.
We need help in doing what we do best so that all of our students, regardless of their socioeconomic level, regardless if they're first or 20th generation college student, that all of them have an equal playing ground of opportunity.
For Ford, there's no better place to tackle the issues ahead.
Elon is a place where it has energy about creating something new. How do we make something that's already good even better? And I think that's what we've attempted to do together as a team.
Maya Eaglin, Elon Local News.
Dr. Ford will be celebrating this landmark on June 30th. For more on this story, pick up a copy of The Pendulum this Wednesday. And Dean Ford isn't the only female dean on Elon's campus. After the break, a look at one dean who started her career a little different.
Break, we looked at Dean Ford's first year at Elon, and continuing our look at female leaders on campus, another dean started her career as an occupational therapist and never thought she'd be a dean at a university. Our Caitlin Rendell has the story.
Rebecca Nadesky believes hard work is the backbone of being a successful leader.
Don't misunderstand that part. It's a lot of work, and you have to really be dedicated and passionate, and you have to be willing to pursue excellence, and you've got to be strong.
A 2018 study from the National Institutes of Health showed that only 15% of deans in a medical field were women.
I think having women in leadership roles affords young women at Elon and even outside in our community to really think about themselves in those positions, to think about the skill sets it takes, but also to really be able to think about or understand that those are things that they too could accomplish.
Growing up with two females in executive positions in her family, Nadesky knew she had the ability to be a leader. She continues to find new role models today who inspire her.
I look at people like Brene Brown, who's giving us all, especially women, a lot of permission to accept ourselves the way we are, to continue to grow and learn and build, but also to accept others and allow others space to create trust.
Because of her busy schedule, Nadesky doesn't have time to reflect on specific moments in her career, but says she looks forward to the future.
I would tell you that I am most proud of accepting every opportunity that I have been blessed with and giving it everything I had.
Caitlin Rendell, Elon Local News.
Nadesky says she is still learning and growing in her current role, but is excited for what's to come. And I think it's just so exciting to see all these women in leadership positions here at Elon.
It is, and I mean, she just seemed like she was so passionate about her students, and I mean, we could tell at the end of that, I mean, I think she seems so great.
Powerful
sure,
ladies.
yes.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us.
For all the news you need to know when we're not on the air, visit our website at elonnewsnetwork.com.
And be sure to follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
Have a great night, Elon.